What if the real secret to building wealth wasn't just about making more money, but knowing how not to lose it? Every year, millions of hard-working people hand over a third or more of their income to taxes. They hustle, they grind, they save, and yet, they never get ahead. But what if you could flip the script? In Be Smart, Pay Zero Taxes, Mark J. Quann reveals the hidden strategies used by the wealthy to legally reduce their tax burden, often to zero. It's not about cheating the system. It's about understanding it better than most ever will. This book isn't just financial advice. It's a wake-up call. Because if you don't learn the rules of the game, you'll always be playing for someone else's win. Let's dive into the mindset and the methods behind tax-free wealth. At its core, Be Smart, Pay Zero Taxes is built on one truth. Taxes are your biggest lifetime expense, and most people don't even know it. Mark Quann argues that if you want to be truly wealthy, you have to stop focusing only on making money and start learning how to keep it. He opens the book with a powerful contrast. While the middle class is taught to defer taxes using 401(k)s and traditional IRAs, the wealthy use tax-free strategies to grow and access wealth without penalties or government interference. He walks us through a new financial framework built around understanding how the tax code works for, not against, you, leveraging life insurance and Roth-style vehicles for tax-free growth using the Rule of 72. And compound interest with tax advantages, avoiding common traps like market volatility, tax brackets, and IRS penalties. And most importantly, he teaches that financial freedom isn't about working harder, it's about thinking smarter. One of the boldest ideas in this book is this: tax deferred isn't tax-free, and someday the bill comes due. Mark Quann challenges the traditional financial advice that most of us grew up with. Put money into a 401(k), defer the taxes, and retire later. But what if, when later comes, you're in a higher tax bracket? What if taxes rise? What if market downturns hit when you need the money most? He introduces the idea that you need to pay taxes on the seed, not the harvest. Meaning, better to pay a small tax now on a small amount than a huge tax later on a larger one. Quann also explores how banks, corporations, and wealthy individuals don't use the tools most Americans use. They use permanent life insurance. They leverage tax-free loans. They structure their income in ways that are protected, liquid, and outside the reach of traditional tax systems. Another big idea: the myth of diversification. We're taught to diversify, but often that just means spreading risk across risky assets without considering taxes, fees, or liquidity. True diversification, he argues, means having tax-free vehicles, protected growth, and access to cash when you need it. Quann isn't just talking about investing. He's talking about control. Control of your wealth, control of your time, control of your future. And all of it starts with how you handle taxes. So what does all this mean for your real financial life? First, stop assuming the traditional way is the best way. Look at your retirement plan. Is it built on deferring taxes or eliminating them? Second, learn about tax-advantaged life insurance. No, not the kind your cousin sells. We're talking about properly structured policies that grow tax-free, allow tax-free access, and pass to heirs without estate tax. Third, start now. The earlier you shift to tax-free strategies, the more compound growth you preserve. Fourth, think like the banks. They store billions in life insurance because of its stability, growth, and tax treatment. If it's good enough for them, it's worth a look for you. And finally, work with experts. You don't need to master the tax code, but you do need to stop ignoring it. The point isn't to beat the system. It's to use the system intelligently, legally, and powerfully. Because the difference between two people earning the same salary can be millions of dollars if one understands taxes and the other doesn't. We live in a culture that celebrates hustle, but very few people stop to ask, where is all my hard-earned money actually going? Mark Quann gives us that pause, that invitation to look closer, to stop running faster and start running smarter. The truth is, you don't need to be a millionaire to build lasting wealth. You just need to stop leaking what you've already earned. Because it's not just how much you make, it's how much you keep, grow, and protect. This isn't a book about loopholes. It's about awareness. It's about making money serve your life, not the other way around. So whether you're just starting out or rethinking your next move, remember, the smartest investors don't just think in terms of returns. They think in terms of control, freedom, and taxes. And if you learn to think like that, you just might pay zero taxes and build a life of 100% freedom. If this message gave you a new way to look at money, imagine what Be Smart, Pay Zero Taxes can do in your hands. This book is your guide to thinking differently, planning wisely, and creating financial strategies that work for you, not against you. You'll find the link to get the book in the video description. And if you want more TED-style financial wisdom like this, subscribe to Book Snap, where we break down the best books on wealth, mindset, and freedom. Because the goal isn't just to make money, it's to master how money works. And when you do that, zero taxes becomes more than a dream. It becomes a decision.